Hello there. It seems like every generation has that popular series of books that is able to be very funny through its use of clever dialogue and simplistic drawings, all in a chapter book format. In my day, it was Captain Underpants, and this generation's equivalent of that are Jeff Kinney's excellent Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. What started off as a webcomic blossomed into these massively successful books told from the point of view of a young man trying to survive the pressures of school and family life. Greg Heffley is the wimpy kid in question, hoping to succeed in life, and more often than not, things tend to blow up in his face. A large part of the appeal in these books is that Greg is like most children, that he has this unique way of looking at the world and tries to get by with his own little quirks. Reading these books as an adult, it's probably funnier now than if they come out when I was Greg's age, since I'm able to recognize a lot of similar moments. Think you had an advantage on the geography test because of a coincidental closely placed map? I've done that. I also appreciate how Kinney doesn't attempt to draw childhood as a pretty picture. As great a time as it was, there were those strange oddities we all had. In the books, there's a running joke about the cheese touch, a piece of moldy cheese just sitting on the playground, and whoever touches it is avoided by the other students. While slightly different, my old school had a strange fascination with the one orange chair in a school filled with yellow ones. Why? I have no idea. Children just latch onto these things that are inconsequential to adults, but life and death in their little minds. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid books do an excellent job of tackling those subjects. However, Greg is not the only interesting and quirky character in the series. His brother Roderick is continually tormenting Greg, as well as annoying that father with his loud rock band playing. He pretty much guarantees that Greg is miserable at home as well as at school. However, his younger 3-year-old brother Manny might be even worse, as he uses his age to get out of trouble and is constantly getting Greg in trouble instead. One especially devilish act was when the family was all snowed in and Manny shut off the power to the rest of the house except for his room. Me thinks somebody is going to grow up to be a criminal mastermind. Then there's his mother, who tries her best to get the boys to cooperate and even buys Greg his diary to help him express his feelings. She also has a tendency to dance around music. Any music. Much to the annoyance of Roderick, and this also leads to a funny plot point in the second book, Roderick Rules. Mr. Heffley also tries to keep order, but has his wild tics as well. When it comes to dysfunctional, the Heffleys are definitely up there, but what family isn't? Greg's off-and-on best friend is Rowley, who has parents who always treat him like he's 6 and hide the more adult parts of life from him. Greg will always try and put Rowley with his ideas, but more often than not will be the one responsible for ruining his plans. Now, I don't know whether this is Jeff Kinney's intention or not, as while he is a very funny character, I highly dislike Rowley. Being the books are told from Greg's point of view, and thus he's the one we sympathize with, Rowley is the one who continually ruins things for him, when Greg himself, or Roderick, or Manny aren't the ones responsible for doing so. So it's hard to like Rowley, and I wonder why Greg keeps returning to him. Nonetheless, this does lead to plenty of humorous if unfair moments, like Rowley getting attention for a bad comic strip with one punchline. In addition to the characters, the dialogue is continually funny. Greg actually makes some smart observations at times. One of my favorite lines is in Dog Days, when Rowley's father gets angry at Greg for using his tab at the country club, and he comments that he's an architect, and if he wants some more money, he can just build a new house. There's also one of the introductory passages in the first book, where he recommends interviewers to just read his journal and then be done with it, which, yep, let's be honest, when people start to ask us the same boring questions, you want to just give them a pamphlet of data too. It's that sort of humor that adds even further to the appeal of these books. The drawings also provide a lot of laughter, with Greg's creative doodles filling the pages. They're simple, stick people, and yet they are some of the funniest bits. Diary of a Wimpy Kid also tackles subjects like bullying, lawsuit fright in schools, and biased teachers in a clever manner. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid books are fantastic and highly entertaining reads, of all 6 books providing something different and fresh. I feel no shame in saying I'm very excited for the 7th book coming this November. With the immense popularity of the books, it's no surprise that 20th Century Fox soon swooped up the rights and a new film franchise was born, starting in 2010. Capturing the fantastic humor of the book, the film adaptation of Diary of a Wimpy Kid does a very good job of transporting the characters and situations to the screen. The screenplay does not tone down Jeff Kinney's unflinching portrayal of childhood, and thus little is lost in the translation. The actors fit the roles perfectly and practically every joke hits. The best bits, however, are when Greg's doodles are animated and his interactions with his brother Roderick. When the writers try to bring in an emotional subplot in the third act, it doesn't quite work, as Rowley is too unlikable to make me care. Nonetheless, as a whole, Diary of a Wimpy Kid succeeds as it not only manages to recreate Kinney's excellent books, but on its own is a fun ode to that strange period of time known as childhood.
Roderick.
What did I tell you would happen if you ever went in my room again?
I'm going to kill you.
Run! Let go, baby hippo!
Manny. And Coach Malone.
You guys are going to be shirts, and you will be skins.
Why aren't we skins? He's just trying to make kids like us feel bad. What do you mean kids like us?
My name is Belly Button. What's yours?
One day I'll be rich and famous. But for now, I'm stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
This is not a diary, it's a journal.
Topping the first film, Roderick Rules adapts the second book exceptionally well. This is funnier, meatier, and utilizes even more of those humorous animated doodles. Director David Bowers, jumping to live action after directing the animated films Astro Boy and Flushed Away, manages to add to the world established by Kinney and original director Thor Frudenthal. The emotional aspect that I felt faulted the first time around actually succeeds in becoming poignant here, as the relationship between Greg and Roderick is done with the right touch of humor and heart. Unlike the Greg-Rowley friendship, it actually feels like the two are worthy of being stuck together. This is an unusual film series that could have easily faltered, but in respecting Kinney's work while still understanding to transfer it to film, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules is a winner.
Get in.
In a whole new chapter of the wimpiest saga of all time.
I'm the ladies.
It's about time, little bro, that you learn the secrets to an easy life.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules.
Rule number 1, always lower mom and dad's expectations.
I took a math test today and I'm pretty sure I flunked it.
Oh, Greg.
But look, I got a C-.
At least you didn't fail.
With the box office success of the first two films, the next entry will be released this summer and will combine both The Last Straw and Dog Days together, which makes sense since the actors are growing older and will probably start to lose their wimpiness upon entering their teenage years. In conclusion, this is a great series of books and films that certainly do a fantastic job of capturing the oddities of childhood. See you next time.